I wish I got that sneeze on camera. That was epic. No. My favorite mic is usually when I'm driving into Pittsburgh for some reason. Well, every time I drove into Pittsburgh, I gotta say, I worked at Duquesne, and for some reason, every time I drove into to Pittsburgh, just out of nowhere, just a big haymaker sneeze, and each and every time, I swear, the inside of my windshield is just splattered. I'm like, oh man,
Why
that's the worst.
Pittsburgh?
I ran the freshman dorms at Duquesne University. Yeah, that's the only way to put it. I ran St. Martin's Hall. Um, they put me over in Vicroy for a bit, but basically I did all the paperwork for St. Anne's as well. But that was my forte. Basically, dorm management. Last real job I had was running a college campus before that folded. But around that time too, I started substitute teaching until my hip completely went out. Uh, when I was done, I was kind of done. Eventually got it replaced, and that's when everything went south. But anyway, we're starting off a show, and I don't want to get right into it though. Ron Killings.
Yeah, what the hell,
He just main
man?
evented. He just main evented. All these shows, and was on a main event, and just like that, they did not renew.
Why would they not? I mean,
Like they
I
should
get it. He's 53. All right, he's in great shape. He just wrestled John Cena on Saturday night's main event like a week ago, and then and plus he's like one of the funniest people, if not the funniest person in the entire company. And you let him go. There's nothing for Ron Killings here.
No, make him a commentator.
Exactly.
Like, supposedly Cole is
leaving. It's just
why not just groom him to be the commentator?
I hope Ron Killings goes to AEW.
Probably will.
That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking. All people are freaking out. It's like it's like with us. So like we're like, what the hell happened there? I'm trying to think. Was like, I don't think he priced himself out of the job either. Like Braun Strowman. But still, like I don't care. You like I said, you keep him as a general manager. You keep him on commentary. You keep him on something. You keep him. But that's the thing, though. It's like everyone's freaking out about it. It's like, but then again, I don't care. Meaning, if I'm just assuming or presuming he shows up on AEW, and instead of like he only like R-Truth only had so many matches this half of the year, and but if he shows up in the AEW, that could, and let him be him, let him continue that character, and have like more TV time or more time to fuck around in vignettes with or he would have that carte blanche in AEW. I think that could be good for us, actually.
Always go back to TNA.
Not to be selfish, but yeah.
He could go back to TNA, which he'd be adjacent to WWE still.
Right.
I mean, yeah, it's. I don't know what to say. I don't know what I don't know what any of them are doing anymore. Any of these companies, this shit doesn't make any damn sense. Like, there are so many people on the roster that deserve to go before him. Then again,
Ooh, that's about right too. I was just gonna say though, getting about that. Um, okay. Before we get too far into it, July 12th and 13th, you got the because it ties in together. The Saturday night's main event. We got that week on the 12th. Evolution at 7 to directly counter AEW. And other select bookings indicate direct attacking pressure against AEW. But I mean, like with WWE, they are building Walmarts next to Kmart's, Lowe's across from Home Depot. I don't know if they're going to try to weaken it, and TKO may end up buying it at some point. But all this gets to be kind of on the back burner for them, or not their full attention, as the WWE is still going for a global monopoly. When you look at each of them, each area, each part of any place in the world where they have wrestling, they're going to want an NXT. Um, they bought AAA. There's rumors about Japan, and I'm not sure how wrestling is on that whole side of the world. Like we're dealing with like Europe and Australia, and I don't know of any actual federation. I think there's just seems to be a bunch of indie promotions on that side, and TKO may be looking at an actual world title, like literally world, and competition for a new big title that'll come when Cena retires, I guess. And I don't know. I passed the mic.
I mean, what are they looking to
What do you guys
own
think?
every promotion in the world? Like, what? There needs to be competition. You saw how shit was for, what, 20 years plus. No, wait, not. How long was it? WCW went out in 2001 and AEW came up in what, 2019? 20. Yeah. So,
Yes, about that.
so
Yeah.
you're looking at, almost 20 years. You had a couple of secondary promotions in that time,
Yeah,
TNA,
TNA.
Ring of Honor. I mean, competition is good.
Well, the problem is though, I think WWE likes to try to generate and make up their own competition. Remember, like Raw versus SmackDown, things along those lines. But they tried. Well, God knows what they're going to try now. What they're trying now could probably going to be something all completely different. I got another one though. How about Karrion Cross as Heyman and Rollins for?
I mean, we've been talking about Karrion Cross joining with them. Like,
Mm-hmm.
you saw that little segment with him and Sami Zayn, and I'm like, what are they doing with this guy? Like, tell us, mutton, lettuce, and tomato.
When the mutton's just right.
Like,
We as you said, we mentioned it before. We think he would be a great addition. I would have rather have him as the third than Bronson Reed. But they need to figure something out because he is one of the more popular characters right now. His T-shirt sells, and he's not even wrestling. He's doing more side promotions and social media than anybody else, and yet they don't put him on TV to wrestle. Like, he's always talking to somebody. You figure, okay, this is where he's finally going to get his competition. Nothing happens. Next person, he's talking to them, getting riled up. Maybe this is going to be the competition. Nothing happens. Now he's talking to Sami Zayn. It's, I don't know. They need to do something. They need to do the right angle because the other angle wasn't working. This actually works, but he's just not wrestling. And as you saw with R-Truth, are they just waiting until his contract is up then?
Well, Karrion Kross, I don't know what they're waiting for. Same thing with the slow burn with the bringing back the the ill-fated Wyatts. Um, I hope or presume they'll be kind of waiting for the right time or opportunity, and to pop them out to whatever push or angle that they're going to give them. I mean, talk about you know uh, wasted, just management waste, and they've done that before, a number of careers, but still, yeah, he needs to be.
He's a world champion caliber talent. Like, I just don't get it, man.
Yeah, that, like I said, I think some of a lot of their decisions is tied up in something bigger. Um, but I was just thinking though, AEW is a good stepping stone for wrestlers on their way up, and also kind of back on their way down. Uh, th- we- okay, dealing with the main Saturday night's main event though, I don't think it was a management push. If anything, I think Cena would have suggested it. That finished with our Truth just this week, and but that's the thing though. Cena just gave his old pal top dollar when going to AEW, and of course he gave up Cena a little bit more heat as well.
Right.
And we anticipate moves between these companies, depending on contract endings, things like that. It's almost like the NFL and other sports. Uh, Mariah May, good example.
Funny.
Mariah May be on her way to the WWE. And along those lines too, Stephanie Valkyr, of course, she hocked up her NXT Women's title to JC Jane, as she is. As the time I said this, is already on Raw.
Yeah, well,
And
that makes sense, man. Like when JC Jane took the belt, man, I was like, okay, I mean, it's about time. Like Stephanie Vaquer should have been in the main roster before Julia. So
that, yeah.
I mean, I gave it to
Well,
JC Jane. I guess that was a decent choice. You know, she's been around there for a while. She was in with Mandy Rose and Toxic Attraction. They were good. They had the tag team titles a couple of times. Gigi
they
Dolan.
figured she was kind of due to some degree too. I guess she's like well, like backstage. That's a factor. And
They have a lot
yeah,
of female talent in NXT, man. They got some good, and Stephanie Vaquer is
well,
top tier talent. So is Julia. That's why they're already on the main roster. Stephanie Vaquer is
well,
great.
there's quite a few others that expected to get called up, such as Jordan Grace, and
Yep.
heard things about Ricky Saints.
I feel like maybe I guess a lot of the time they wait for them to hold a belt and then they drop it and then they go up. So maybe Jordan Grace might hold the title. I'm not a big fan of hers, being honest with you, but
Well, who knows? They think, as far as we know, they could just rebrand her and everything. But
they got some.
it'd be interesting how they introduced them, because that's the thing. They're looking to have, like, a good handful getting bumped up, and I guess, like you said, they do have a lot of that talent in NXT, and they're going to have more of that. Where, like you said, there's some like that here just should have been on Raw right off the bat.
They got some, the chick that's the North American champion now, Sol Ruka. She shows a lot of promise. Kalani Jordan does as well. They're both pretty athletic. I think they're both getting better too. So I could see them moving up. But if you remember the last draft when they had announced when Lyra Valkyria was moved up to the main roster, they moved up a couple of others as well that you haven't heard shit from. Kiana James,
Right.
who was with Fallon Henley, who is now with JC Jane and the other chick, Jasmine Nix or whatever. What are they called? Fatal Influence? It's trying to sound like Toxic Attraction. Kiana James got moved up to the main roster without even holding a title. I think maybe she was the tag team champion with Fallon Henley for like 5 minutes, but where the fuck is she? And then, what was the other one? Blair Davenport? What the fuck happened to her?
I think she got let go, didn't she?
Oh, was she part of those last releases? Maybe, yeah, I think you're right. Kiana James wasn't. She's on the main roster. And if you look at any information regarding her, it says, oh, she's currently signed to WWE where she performs on the Raw brand. Oh, yeah, really? When the fuck has she been on the Raw? So I don't know. But Stephanie Vaquer is going to fucking tear apart the women's roster, man. When she's so good.
I wanted to. When I finish this, I'm going to be able to share it. What is Stephanie Valkyrie to me? And all I got is there's a companion, almost like a pet of sorts in Warcraft, for like demonic warlocks or demonology or potions or something. Warcraft, right? And you got this one companion, and it's just a succubus, what you would think of a succubus, but very seductive, very spanky naughty distraction in for things in a game, and I never use it. I was a hunter, but still, it's like just her mannerisms and just her look. Her look is so. She comes out to the ring. It looks like a professional World of Warcraft cosplay of some sort. I mean, it is just fantastic. And once she gets into the ring, well, the other, isn't it?
Like, I watch her matches. Like, I fast forward through a lot of matches, but I don't fast forward through her matches. Like, I love watching her wrestle. And she's like super sexy. So
yeah.
But she's gonna go. She'll be world champion soon. Believe me.
Well, they're fixing to do that with a lot of them. Oh, go ahead, Greg.
When is this draft happening? Because rumors were that it was supposed to happen last weekend, and it didn't happen. So,
and there's rumors that they might just squash it all together.
I hope they do. So stupid.
Well, it's like the triple threat. Go ahead.
No, because usually that tells you who's being pulled up from NXT, but they're kind of just bringing people up now without, like, 2 women came up, last few weeks. They already won their matches. They're qualified for Money in the Bank. So, unless they're going to bring up Valkyrie, have her the latest entry, unless they announced, actually, no, they have everyone set, right? Or am I?
Yeah, I was just going to bring that, getting into the women's Money in the Bank. Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Rhea Ripley,
You were just
Julia,
going to say Rhea
Naomi.
Perlin, weren't you?
Yes, I was. And honest, but okay. Liv Morgan, that'll be tomorrow night. Liv Morgan, Stephanie Valkyrie, and Ivy Nile for that last
That's the next triple
qualifier.
threat. Yeah. So then but Stephanie Vaquer will probably win that.
So they're already putting her in Money in the Bank.
They put Julia in too.
Yep.
Come on.
And Roxanne.
Well, she has to. Valkyrie has to win tomorrow night, though.
This is the future, man.
Yeah, she is getting the push, though. Liv Morgan got her own thing going on. Ivy Nile is just glad to be there. But
yeah, Ivy Nile is so boring, man. Like, they got a lot of talent. And
I love her angle, but she's just not. She's not at the level that these others are. women are. So.
And we see that developmentally in the ring, but there's a lot of other aspects as well, and a lot of that will come down to charisma, character, everything like that. Okay, you come up with a better gimmick, use it, or
So,
who knows how they work through that.
where is they in the process of signing Mariah May?
Probably as we speak.
Is she going to go to NXT?
That could be a plan. If that's so, they would probably kind of develop a lot of that around her then coming in. But I think she's going right to Raw or something. They're working on something if they're bringing up all these women. They're looking to call up from their developmental. So they're working on something. God knows what, but it might be fun. At least it'll take off the pressure off of some of SmackDown's bloated roster too, I guess. Getting into the other Money in the Bank. Okay, we're going to be with Solo Sikoa got in there. LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade now, and okay, this is going to be interesting tomorrow night when you get into CM Punk, AJ Styles, and Big American.
Who?
I don't know. That could be fun out of that. I'm hoping for Chad Gable out of that, but he got his own storyline going on, so gotta go with Punk, right?
I'm gonna go with Logan Paul to take the whole match.
Is he
even in the Money in the Bank match? He has his own match with
Yeah, he has the tag team match. Him and Cena versus Uso and Cody.
That's that Money in the Bank?
Yeah.
Oh, Logan Paul's not in the Money in the Bank match?
No.
Oh shit, I thought he was.
I thought he would be too.
All right. I guess he's not going to win that.
Well, getting into that match, I mean, there was a lot of, they had a mic battle on to close out the SmackDown, but you get the as much as they want their faces, their champs, their heroes, and Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. I just do not see them beating, especially it would be different if it was like SummerSlam or Royal Rumble or something. But okay, at this pay per view, I don't see them in any chance beating just the amount of heat that Logan Paul and John Cena really has as a team, and also as a team in general. I just do not see them being able to beat Cena and Paul. Plus, it's I don't think it would go with anything can go with the story if you make it up, but I think it would just flow a lot better. Yeah, I definitely see those two.
It's probably going to be Seth Rollins winning the match then. I mean, aren't they making a push for him to be a world champion again? But that cock blocks his boy, who should be a world champion.
Right. I don't know what they're doing with the storyline because you figure they would have won by now. But they really haven't won.
Yeah.
Well, they won the tag match. So, but I just feel like every time they're about to do something, they just get kind of pushed to the side. Like something happens, and then Bronson Reed came out, and that helped them. But I don't know. I don't know if they're going to give him a belt right away. They might wait to do it
Who?
once everything
Braun Breaker?
settles. No, Seth Rollins. So
Yeah, what about Gunther?
that's the thing, though. Like,
Oh
they're
man, they
probably gonna have Gunther lose to Jey Uso again and try and push Uso.
Fucking sad.
Yep.
yeah. Well, this would be a good hope, maybe an end to a feud, or they're just going to escalate it even further. Women's Intercontinental Championship. I just don't see Becky Lynch winning in this one. I think it's going to be another, end up another squash or vicious disqualification. Or I'm thinking that she might just give a clean win to Lyra.
Well, they're doing this a second time in a month?
Third.
Boring.
No, the championship match for the belt.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that's our deja vu match of the week.
Right.
That'll be for certain Money in the Bank.
Wait, who's
And
got
that's
the?
it for now. I mean,
What's she, the Intercontinental Champion?
Who?
Lyra Valkyria?
Yeah, she is.
yeah,
Who's the? She's not. First of all, if you listen, man, if you got all these girls coming up to the main roster, man, that girl is not holding that belt for very much longer, and neither is Zelina Vega.
you're gonna see a lot of title swaps as people get moved up. You definitely got a point there. This is going to be interesting what they do. They might be just gearing up then. They're going to want to see who they get, like including like my May and stuff like that. Just to they might want to wait for some of that to be done, and maybe they're just like holding off on a draft situation. But God knows what these guys are doing backstage now. Like I said, they're working on a global monopoly in professional wrestling.
Yeah,
Man,
it's.
you
But
got these kids don't know
I
how to
have a
not
feeling.
slam a door.
I have a feeling Becky Lynch is winning this.
I don't know.
Ooh,
She's already like she's had her time, man. You know.
Yeah, but she's never held the Intercontinental because
Big
it's.
fucking deal, man. You got all these good younger
I didn't say
talent coming
she was
up.
holding on for long. I just think that she's
well,
gonna win
wasn't
it.
Becky Lynch like back doing stuff and didn't she just have the NXT Women's title again just for shits that not that long ago? I mean,
And she's
she's
lost to Valkyria every time she's wrestled her. That's why I think
so
she's gonna win.
if there's going to be a time to even up the score a bit, it'd be this match.
Right.
But that would just be leading up for oh a women's world title match later on down the line with those two. That could be interesting.
Yeah.
But anyway, Becky Lynch, like she definitely made Lyra. I mean, she put her over backstage, coming and going, vignettes, fights, matches, do it all. And
Right.
I
She's.
like Lyra.
I like Lyra too, but Becky's the one that's been pushing her, giving her all these matches, having her beat her. I just think it's not working. I don't know what angle they're trying to use for Valkyria, but if they're just constantly using the same angle, it's might as well just give it to Becky. Have Becky hold the title, have her name on, the women's Intercontinental for a little bit, and then at SummerSlam or, later in the year, have her drop it to one of the new up and comers that, they wanted to push that they didn't push for the world title. So, but you can also see Rosie Perez, Roxanne Perez, and Julia teaming up to do the women's tag team as well, because there's no tag team division in the women's really. So you can see Valkyria winning Money in the Bank. You can see Perez and Julia then teaming up to be a tag team to take the tag team titles. There's ways of pushing your young talent with all this information. So it just depends on how they want to do it. If they want to have a veteran hold one of the belts, then you can have Becky hold the Intercontinental, have Zelina lose the United States title because it's not going back to green. So we'll see what happens. But I have a feeling Becky's winning this match. We're going to see something with the Cena match. Unless actually they can probably just have him lose because it's not a title match. So, but then the other
I do
two.
like how you think fourth dimensional, Craig. Sometimes you do hit the nails on the head. I could see that. Depends which way they're going to go on that one.
Right. So, because Money in the Bank is next week, so we'll be on after.
Yeah, they're building nicely and steadily for Money in the Bank. Getting into SmackDown though.
I haven't watched it because it
Yeah,
wasn't
were you
posted
able to
on.
watch SmackDown? Because I couldn't watch the recap.
It wasn't posted on the USA app
Boy,
for some reason.
yeah, no, they. I mean, the thing is though, they're keeping SmackDown 3 hours. I mean, let's face it, USA doesn't really still have much else. They still have the same, rerun shows that they're running when Raw started. Um, USA doesn't have much else, so sure though they're going to keep it 3 hours, and it's cable, and I mean for the product for us 2 hours would be just so much better, and pick one instead of spreading out all over with these apps. Like I gotta, it pisses me off. I gotta vent.
Seriously, these
There's
small run times are fucking crazy, man. Like, do you know? Side note, do you know fucking AEW next Wednesday for Dynamite? They're having Fighter Fest, right? One of their like fake pay-per-views that they put on regular cable. The shit is advertising 4 hours long. I'm like, what the fuck?
Out.
Why am I watching this shit for 4 hours?
I bet, but the thing is, well, no, their commercials are long and painful too. Um, I was just about to go off on like just like the commercials and the commercialism, and it's just like that's the thing. 2 hours would be better, and like I said, pick one instead of spreading out all over. They lost 1 million Raw viewers because people didn't want to get Netflix on top of probably what they had for that would be basic cable. They didn't want to pay for Netflix as well, on top of Peacock and Hulu, all with no ads. That's the thing we have, but that I pay for that though. I will gladly pay an extra couple bucks a month. Why? Because we had a lifetime of commercialism pointed
Sam,
us to.
a lot of people already had Netflix. It's not like Netflix was a new thing that just came out.
I've
Netflix
had
was the
Netflix
first
since
major
it
streaming
started.
service. A lot of people already had it. So it's not like they
Well,
lost 1 million people.
No,
They're
but
losing people on USA
I think
because the
that Tim
ratings
has
for
a point.
USA is like
There are
1.
people.
no, if that's the case, then they lost 1 million.
There are
Viewers,
people
period.
that are like very fickle about Netflix, especially. They're just like, oh, yeah, my show's over on Netflix, so fuck it, I'm canceling that shit. Like, they do that shit.
I know people do it, and people share their Netflix accounts with everybody.
Of course.
So
Well, Netflix tried to crack down on that shit, but
they did.
They tried. Yeah, they tried to. I'm like, how? And when
I
they
got a
have
message on my
certain
phone. I
little
was like,
fail safes, I'm like,
I tried to log in on my
it was
phone at work, and it said, you're not. This is not part of the
this is
household.
not
Are
your
you on
household.
vacation?"
Yeah. I had
Yeah.
to change, bro. I had to change the Netflix household to my house now.
Yeah.
Because it was telling me, oh, this isn't your Netflix household. I'm like, bitch, no, this is the household now, bitch. But
Yeah, but have you seen the ratings for USA? It's like 1.9, 1.6, 1.5. Not a lot of people.
No, that's the
no,
thing. They're gonna be
they got to move SmackDown to Netflix, man. I'm telling you, fucking
exactly.
Or move it to Peacock. Just put it on the Peacock. Like you already
Peacock's
have the
fucking.
pay-per-views there. Just put it
I don't
there.
understand why fucking Peacock pisses me off in that. All right, they have pretty much the entire database of shit for WWE. I don't really like the way it's situated. I preferred the network. It was way more organized, but
Right.
um that's great. You got all that content, but current shit, they should just fucking SmackDown airs on Friday. It should be on Peacock on Saturday. If you know, like, why is it not? Why am I waiting? Why are they posting? They're like a month behind in posting SmackDowns or you know,
And
NXT.
they own USA.
Seriously, it doesn't make any fucking sense, man. It's one of NBC Universal's networks. So like,
Yeah.
come on. Just get
Everything
everything
else.
under one umbrella already. Like fucking like
We watch Resident Alien. June 6th, the new season. That's going to be readily available on
isn't
June
that on
7th on
Sci-Fi?
Peacock. And that's what me and Leslie do. We watch it the next day.
Like, why don't they do that with Hulu was doing that with Raw and SmackDown and
Well, Hulu
NXT.
had some type of agreement, even with the NXT stuff too, but they canceled that contract. And then all of a sudden, like, you have a contract with
Well, then
USA.
use your own fucking service. Like,
I
it's crazy.
know. And
It's
that's
stupid.
the issue. Like, why is it still not available on there? You say it's like a month away. It's like, okay, it'll be on in a month. I don't care in a month from now. I'm not rewatching it in a month. Like, I want to know what happened yesterday. And I got to go
Fuck.
online and look things up, and I can't see with my own two eyes.
I mean, as shitty as AEW is, at least what their deal with, putting it on Max or on HBO Max. They went back to HBO Max now. I don't know, whatever.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Did
No,
they?
it's just Max.
No, now it was Max. Now it's HBO Max again. They went back to HBO Max.
What happened to Cinemax? I wonder.
Cinemax
Cinemax
is
is
still
its
out
own
there.
fucking thing, which should just be on HBO Max because fucking they own Cinemax. So why isn't all the content from Cinemax on HBO Max? It's
Because
fucking
it's
stupid.
Skinemax. It's not Cinemax.
It's dumb, man. It's dumb as shit. Anyway, they, I'm tired of watching SmackDown with commercials, NXT with commercials on the CW app. Like, come on, man. Like, why are you making things difficult, motherfuckers? Like,
Because they
And
have to.
why? And as it comes down to like, why it comes down to that commercialism. They like the numbers, keeping it 3 hour. I mean, I can
how?
deal with. Hold on, it's the commercialism. I mean, I can deal with arena signs, emblems on the mat. I mean, I can deal with a live, brought to you by announcement. Well, what we will no longer tolerate in wrestling or anywhere else is to have to sit there and, like I said, sit there and watch stupid, god awful commercials where I have no idea what half of these things are even selling in the first place. Upscale car commercials for like a lemon looking vehicle, which is way out of my tax bracket, and something that even if I was rich, I would never consider buying in the first place as it's stupidly unpractical. And it's the same commercials repeated 3 or 4 times in a row, except Mayhem. What commercial for that character is for? I could watch that guy all day. And they're keeping it 3 hours long, as there is a solid hour of mind destroying, repetitive gay, really gay drug
Yeah,
commercials.
3 hours is way too much.
And so, like I said, they take everything off of Peacock, off of basic cable channels, put it on Netflix, charge $20 for Netflix, so you can cancel all these other streaming sites. I mean, it's just that's my take on it.
It's just there's no reason for either of those of either Raw or SmackDown to be 3 hours. Like,
Yeah.
and I know one of them. Which one is not 3 hours anymore? Raw.
Raw is not 3 hours, but it does go past 2 hours.
Raw was 3 hours when it was on USA.
Yeah. Raw
Now
is
it's not.
still they go past 2 hours. They don't really have a time limit. They can go like 2.5, 3 hours if they wanted to.
SmackDown was never 3 hours.
No, SmackDown was 2 hours, but when they took Raw off, they moved to 3 hours. But the thing is that there's a time limit. Once 11 o'clock hits, they have to be off the air.
Bro, there's at least an hour of fluff that they could just cut out of the TV broadcast alone. Like, come on, even fucking NXT's 2 hours.
Right.
But like, I like watching NXT more anyway, you know?
Thinking back in the day, I was a little bit bigger than Mateo, but I had no gut, and they billed me all sorts of ways. But I'm just thinking though, it's like even between Mateo and look who else, like like Kevin Owens and stuff. It's like, I mean, I was way more jacked up and much better shape, but I was about 1/10 of as agile as these guys. Let alone when you get into like Ivar, I couldn't. No, I could have done what Ivar does if I was
You
bigger and
couldn't do a
everything again
cartwheel.
too. But
Who are you kidding?
yeah, I would not last very long.
Bro, for a big dude, Ivar does some
he
crazy shit. But that's just think about back in the day, man. Look at what Vader used to do. Used to do moonsaults. The guy was 450 pounds. I mean, the Vader bombs and like he's talking about. I mean, he played in the NFL, Leon White, but he's talking about an athletic guy that big. Man, he was like 6'5", over 400 pounds, and just
he
doing fucking moonsaults off the top rope. I mean, Bam Bam Bigelow was pretty agile for a big dude too, man.
Yeah,
he was incredibly agile for like same thing, just being that sort of size. So that's the thing. I was never I never got to be as good, but I was never as agile as those guys. Despite that, I had the look and the charisma. I was actually getting. By the time I was a journeyman, like I was no longer like like really green. I was not that guy. I was at least in the middle when I go to most shows, and yeah, as soon as I started getting good, that's fine. Anyway, so they've been building nicely and steadily for Money in the Bank next weekend. I could go through Raw and everything as well.
Well, what main important matches are coming up on Raw other than the last women's Money in the Bank, which we all think it's Valkyria, right?
Yeah.
And the men's.
And be the men's the men's triple threat.
Men's triple threat is
with
what?
Punk Styles and Americano. That's why I hesitated. I'm like, who? Chad Gable, the big and AJ, and the people with the potential initials. Yeah, so we got the CM Punk, AJ Styles, and Grande Americano.
They should put Americano in. Unless they're going to stick CM Punk in just so he can feud and screw over Seth Rollins.
Man, aren't you guys tired of CM Punk, man?
Basically.
Oh yeah, yes. I seen him back when he was first starting out. He looked like such a teenager back in the indie. Like when he really first started coming out, and never cared for the guy. And like I said, he has this whole straight edge thing and everything like that. But it's just like, yeah, but you still look like someone who is methed out of his mind. I mean, he just has that look. Yeah, I never cared much for him.
He was on the Netflix Totem.
You actually watched that?
Well, it's their introduction to like what shows are coming out, like trailers and stuff like that.
What, we need like an event and shit?
Yeah, they had an event. They showcased the new season for Stranger Things. They talked about One Piece. This is the only thing we saw because we had to leave.
One Piece fucking sucks, man.
One Piece is good. Shut your mouth.
One Piece is
What's it-
some of the worst shit I've ever seen in my life. That fucking animated shit sucks.
One Piece is good. Leave it alone. Don't talk about One Piece.
What
like
is?
What are you
One Piece?
wasting your time watching that shit for?
Because I like it. Just because
Really?
I have taste,
Bro,
you don't.
I
I don't
know-
know how you.
I don't have taste? Me? Really? Dude, I know you
I
have.
never knew you.
Come on, man. You watching fucking One Piece?
It's entertaining.
I never knew you were into anime.
I've
No,
seen
he
some
watches
anime
the
where
live
they
action
just
shit.
whine and cry and whine. I'm like, ugh, I can't stand this.
They made a live action shit of the anime on Netflix, and it's fucking bullshit. And so is the anime, actually.
Hey, don't hate it.
I'm on Cobra Kai. That's my speed.
We stopped.
Put me on that, okay? Oh yeah, totally. I hate to say it. They as far as the series, they hit the nail on the head when you tie things together. I mean, it was so successful that they're making another Karate Kid. They weren't going to bring back Jackie Chan or
That
anything.
movie's gonna
They
be.
got Mafia
shite.
acting again.
Isn't it already out?
Yeah, it's out in the theater now.
Yeah.
Karate Kid Legends. Give me a fucking break.
Squid Game is ending. Did you watch Squid Game yet?
I'm totally up to speed on Squid Game.
Yeah, so last season's coming out.
For me, guys, yeah, I'm coming in as a noob, and I keep looking at it, and I keep looking at what the hell is. Tell me about it.
You should
entice
watch
me.
Squid
Get
Game.
me into it.
Squid Game is something that Trump should do. You basically take a lot of people that don't have money that need to. It's like kind of like a Running Man, but you basically put a big giant pot at the end of every time somebody dies out of a certain amount of. So say you have 500 people. Every time somebody dies, you put $1 million in the bank. So at the end, someone's going to win $500 million. That's basically what it is.
So in the game, they dress up as.
They're just inmates, basically playing games, and whoever makes it all the way to the end wins the pot. So they have to outlast 500 people in surviving, and then they win whatever Korean amount it is, but it ends up being like $250 million in US.
It's like 46 billion.
Again, why do people like this?
Because it's violent.
I have even less curiosity and less interest than I just did a minute ago.
No,
why
man,
do you
watch it, man? It's really
just
good.
Watch the
actually,
first episode.
It's really good.
If you don't like it, then just don't watch it. One show I think you would definitely like is Alice in Borderland. It's another Korean
I still haven't
adaptation.
finished that.
You started it?
Yeah.
How do you like it?
It's good.
Yeah.
But I mean, I generally like shit like that. You know that.
I know. Like, it's really fucked up. So.
Yeah, no. Some of these shows like Black Mirror and various things like that. It's just like, man, who writes this shit?
There's a new season of that coming out, right?
Yeah, we watched it already. It just, I don't know. It was forgettable.
Wait, the new season's out already?
Yeah, it already came out a couple weeks ago.
Oh shit! I'm like a couple of seasons behind.
You still got to watch The Boys.
I started that too.
Oh, okay.
And then I was like,
The Boys is fun.
Yeah, I know, man. But then I'm like, that's like 4 fucking seasons right there. There's like 3 shows I haven't finished yet.
I know.
And I just keep
If
watching.
you want my advice, I would concentrate on those other shows. You're gonna want to watch The Boys, and it could be one of those situations where you're gonna like give it a rewatch someday, depending on how long we live. We'll probably do it together. But still, it's just like that would be. I'd wait for season 5 to even come out and have all those episodes drop, which gives you time to, get caught up on the other shows before you even bother getting into that. Because once you get into that, that'll just be a fun drunken binge watch, man. It'd be that's my um take on it. That would be my advice, if any.
You have mentioned
I would.
Homelander like several times.
Well, I mean, that's the thing though. You can't look at Cody Rhodes and you go and Homelander and that and it's too Captain America. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Cody Rhodes sucks.
All right,
I
so let's talk
agreed. He was
about.
not my favorite either. I mean, my favorite now would probably, it's like, okay, get Randy Orton in the back in the top spot. You know?
All right, let's talk Money in the Bank. So we all agree. So who do you? Let's do the women's intercontinental. Who do you think is winning?
Oh, Becky Lynch. We figured.
Again, like, yeah, Becky's lost a couple, so, and to Craig's point before, Becky's never held the Intercontinental belt because it didn't exist. So let her get her Grand Slam or whatever the fuck level champion she could be, so she could go into the Hall of Fame and blah.
Well,
blah,
she's
blah,
going in
blah.
the Hall of Fame. We know that. Just
No, of course, man. She's Becky two belts. She's the man.
right. I think once she gets this belt, then they're probably going to bring her into the fold as well.
I mean, what? Why wait?
Don't know. They're probably waiting for this match to happen because Seth is going to be in the Money in the Bank men's. So maybe Paul Heyman shows up at the end, interferes, Becky wins, and then that's how they do it. I don't know. Maybe they have another
If you're going
woman.
that angle, Craig, that's
Maybe
I mean, that's definitely plausible.
they could bring another female in, interfere, and have Paul Heyman waiting at the end with Seth Rollins congratulating his wife on winning the title with the other person. There's a lot of things they can do that can definitely increase the amount that this faction is. That we still don't know what the name of it is yet. But yeah.
exactly. I do love how you're thinking fourth dimensionally. Go, Craig. I like that. Yeah, I could see that.
All right.
We would like to see that. Which way they're going to go, be? We'll see.
Yep. Cody and Jay versus Paul and Cena. I think it's Cody and Jay.
I think, who cares?
Yeah.
It's just a filler match,
Yeah.
basically.
I hate these type of matches. These type of matches is what is all of AEW shows. Like, it's just 6-man tag matches, fucking 4-way match. Like, dude, enough, man. Like,
Logan Paul should have been in Money in the Bank, and he's not.
yeah, I don't.
He's in this match, but he's not in the Money in the Bank match. Which
I don't like Cody. I don't like Jey Uso. Yeah. I don't like bullshit filler tag team matches like this. Like,
especially on a pay-per-view.
Right.
Especially when I just watched Slamboree or the Great American Bash in 1996, and fucking Steiner Brothers are wrestling Scott Norton and Ice. Like, that's a real tag team match.
Yeah,
man.
but the '90s was ridiculous for wrestling. Like you couldn't go wrong with either show. Like there was just such great storylines and competition, and then
you know what's happening on the night, the show that I'm halfway through right now, Great American Bash '96. You know who's wrestling on it, right?
Yeah, Mongo.
Fucking good job, bro. Holy shit! Wait, did I tell you that recently?
No, but I think that's the next football jersey I'm doing is McMichael.
No, McMichael and Kevin Green wrestling Arn Anderson and Ric Flair, and then I guess Mongo becomes the fourth horseman not too long after that, because Benoit has a match with Kevin Sullivan when he was the Taskmaster, and I know I'm taking this shit back, but
yeah,
then Benoit becomes the third four horsemen. So I get then Mongo. I don't remember. Does Mongo turn on Kevin Green or some shit, or I don't remember.
I forget it because they did feud back and forth. and then it kind of fizzled. Then the next thing you know, NWO will happen, and that just
And then the very next pay-per-view, which is the Bash at the Beach 96, we all know what happens there. That's when Hogan makes his fucking heel turn.
that's okay. That's what they were pushing into that. Yeah.
Yeah. But all right, wait, go back to Money in the Bank. I'm sorry, because I'm watching the Great American Bash in 1996 is more important to me than any of the shit we're watching now.
So, who are you picking for the tag match?
I would like to see Cena and Logan Paul win, but to your point before, I agree with you. Like, if you're gonna have Cena lose when no title's on the line, then you might as well just fucking do that. Cody comes back and he's like, because Cody hasn't wrestled since WrestleMania, right?
Right.
So, I mean, that makes sense. Push the baby faces for this pointless match. Yeah.
I think they'll get the pinfall or the disqualification decision or something. I think they'll win the match but lose the war kind of thing.
Yeah, this is going to lead to a Cody.
I'm just thinking as far as
cool.
Yeah, Cody will probably get Cena and hit him with a bunch of fucking Sister Abigails and
Sister Abigail's.
That whatever Crossroads. It fucking looks like Sister Abigail, but it's like the Cutter versus the
right.
All those the Cutter and the fucking Stunner is the same thing, right?
So is the RKO
and the RKO and isn't there a slight difference between a Stunner and a Cutter?
There's like 4 moves, and all of them have different names. That's all it is. It's
so
4
Diamond Dallas Page's Diamond Cutter,
right,
versus Stone Cold's Stunner.
No, more like the RKO.
The RKO is
that
like
was the predecessor.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Everybody's got a cutter now. Cody Cutter, fucking Will Ospreay's got a cutter.
Stone Cold was basically come where you fall down to your butt instead of just coming flat out and falling down. That's all it was. That's the difference. So
speaking of like finishing moves, that Tim, Kenny Omega's finishing move, that fucking one-winged angel where he's got him on his. There was rumor that Seth Rollins was going to steal Kenny Omega's finishing move. The one-winged angel.
If anyone could, it would be him, but I don't know. I don't know how much heat that would get at this point, but
you could just name it something else.
He could try. If anyone could try, it'd be Rollins. But
what's the move?
That'll be it.
So he gets the guy. He picks the guy up on his shoulders,
mm-hmm.
and then he grabs the guy by the back of his neck, and then flips him around to do like some kind of seated power bomb, right? Well, I guess that's a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
It's kind of a wicked looking move when he's doing it, but I don't know. It's a little bit like what's his name's? What's that move Samoa Joe does? A muscle buster? No, it's a little like that. Maybe I could be wrong. It's kind of a move and nobody else does it but Kenny Omega.
That's the thing, though. That would probably be a line drawn in kayfabe there, man. Rollins, that would be like Rollins would really, draw the ire of certain.
Social media would blow up.
Yeah, that would not be a good idea. I wouldn't let go. No.
I mean, Rollins already stole Triple H's finishing.
Well, that's when he was part of the.
I know he gave it to him. He was the fucking guy. I know. Because that curb stomp is kind of fucking.
Right now, he's doing it to Rhino.
No, I mean, I'm thinking Rollins would try that or something like that, but he wouldn't use it as a
Kenny
finisher.
Omega
Sure,
got
he would just.
Rhino in that thing? Rhino's a big fucking guy, man.
Yeah, I just watched it. He just did it. You want me to share it?
Rhino's like a thick motherfucker.
I know.
Yeah, but Rhino's also, I won't say agile. He's loose enough where he could take that. If anyone's that big and can take that bump,
It looks
I'm
like
saying
and
Kenny
take
Omega
that move,
getting
be
him
him.
up on his shoulders, man.
it looks like a different move. It's like a different position from the Falcon. The
Falcon Arrow?
yeah.
Yeah,
This
that's
is
one of
some-
Rollins' moves too.
Right.
Yeah.
Basically, it's just a different position from the Falcon. That's all it is. Am I wrong or?
No. I'm thinking you're right on that.
Yeah,
because
he
remember the
picks
Falcon
him up and
Arrow
kind of like brings him down.
starts out as it looks like it's going to be a suplex, and then it kind of like converts it into some type of seated power bomb.
Yeah. Yeah, where Omega basically puts him up on his shoulders, takes his head, and then brings him down
And then
and
just
under.
fucking kind of flips him down.
Yeah, it's basically
A
the
little
same
more
move. It's just a
momentum.
different position for it.
Yeah,
It's like the prettiest somersault and the backflip and the twisted bliss and the
bro, those are all fucking moonsaults.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's like there's little different tweaks, but it's all the same thing. So he kind of has a rendition of it, but his is just but he doesn't use it as a finisher. His finisher now is the stomp. He was using, Triple H's move. I'm trying to think what his move was before that, though. What was his
I
finisher?
don't even know if he had a finisher then.
I'm trying to think of what his finisher was before he was when the Shield was still together.
Right, before the
What
pedigree.
Rollins would use as a finisher? Because you got fucking what's his name? Dean Ambrose used to use that DDT. What was it? But now he calls it the paradigm shift, but it was the same fucking move. Kind of like that move Bobby Roode would do. He would like lift you up and do a DDT.
Right.
What the fuck happened to Bobby Roode?
Oh, good question. Yeah. I don't know. We should put a pin on that.
I'll look it up.
I know is he injured?
Bobby
I'm thinking
Roode.
injured, like a.
I always fucking
I
liked
don't know.
Bobby Roode, man. He was a damn good wrestler, man. I think he's still the longest reigning TNA champion.
Glorious Bobby Roode.
I'm thinking back to Beer Money.
Yeah, Beer Money was fucking... Dude, whatever happened to Cowboy James Storm? I thought he was going to sign with WWE.
I last saw Bobby Roode, and I mean,
you're talking Bobby Roode, Glorious Bobby Roode, right?
Yeah, glorious.
Neck fusion.
Oh, fuck.
That's why I thought.
I think we looked it up once before.
So then he'll be back. Fucking Edge came back from that shit.
So did Daniel Bryan. He still hasn't come back yet, though.
Where the fuck is Daniel Bryan at? Where?
Fuck these guys. What doctors did they go to? And how come I didn't get sent to
Daniel
one?
Bryan was determined.
Yeah. Oh, he did shop around for fourth and fifth opinions, but plus he worked on it. And
wait, what's her name too? Paige. She had the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like,
Edge.
Where is Danielson now? After
he retired.
Moxley, he didn't retire, did he? He's retired for real?
I thought so.
Because remember when Moxley took the title from him,
that was it. That was the farewell match.
They tried to kill him or something. They put a plastic bag over his head or some shit.
Exactly.
So wait, so Danielson is really, really done?
Yep. He probably just didn't want to do it anymore.
That's fucking lame.
I don't know.
So you know what? Fucking Edge should fucking follow Daniel Bryan, man. Enough with him.
Isn't he hurt again?
Yeah, he always gets hurt, man.
All right.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know how. Like, I lasted like, okay, you take somebody like, Ric Flair, Undertaker, you get into legends. I lasted 1/30th as long as these guys, and that is, also 1/30th of the fame and fortune and everything. And I can only imagine at that level some of the shit goes on all along with it.
Ric Flair was always smart in the ring. You know that. He knew what bumps he was gonna not take, and to have that type of longevity, the whole, and that's the same thing with Cena. Cena, outside of certain matches that Cena had, Cena doesn't fucking take big bumps and shit. Like, he's got his formulaic match, much like Ric Flair. Like they always said, oh, you're gonna wrestle a Ric Flair match, because that's the thing about Flair, and I respect the guy, and he's one of the greatest of all time. Yes. Do I necessarily like watching him a lot of the time? No, unless he was wrestling certain people. But like, if you watch one Ric Flair match, you've seen them all, man. Like, he does the same fucking shit, except if he's doing like a Broadway with, Ricky Steamboat or some shit, man. Like, then you're watching like two professionals at work, like.
Yeah.
Well, Ric Flair fucking phoned in a lot of shit, man.
Yeah.
I mean, same thing
Well,
with
God knows
Hogan.
what he's. Oh yeah. Well, Hogan is all about his beer. Flair he seems to be
All about his
floundering all
energy
over the
drink.
place. Yeah, that I honestly don't know what that commercial was for. I shared it with my chiropractor. Craig, you know Tim from the wedding. Anyway,
I don't remember half the wedding.
and yeah, it's just like we're still trying to figure out what the fuck is up with the dwarf. Seriously, that commercial? What is up with that? That stupid. Like I say, it was just that energy drink commercial, and I saw like a part of it, and I'm like, okay, I gotta actually watch this now. And I watched it first. I didn't think anything of it. Uh, 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 but a third time in, I'm like, I'm rolling on the floor laughing. I just didn't know why. But I guess it's energy drink versus beer, and both of these guys are just kind of flailing right now. Or floundering, I should say. But that's
Ric Flair,
hey, for those guys, it's either that or signing autographs at a Comic Con. I mean,
I just saw him on TV on AEW when they were paying tribute to Mongo, and Ric Flair came out wearing some ridiculous looking suit, and he's looking, the motherfucker is like, 76, gonna be 76 years old, man. I don't know how much he was looking kind of, I don't know, kind of. Kind of crusty.
Flair like he kind of never look the same much in the last 15, 20 years anyway. But
You know what's funny about
he
Ric
actually looked.
Flair? You started watching him when you were a kid, right? Me too, right? That motherfucker always looked old.
That this is also true.
Like,
This is also true.
he in 1989, I guess he's 40, right? But like, even the whole 80s, he had that white hair and shit. Even though he was not old, he looked old. And he continued to look older and older and older.
I think a lot of that is those shades that they had that was popular back in the day. It wasn't the aviators, but it's the ones that he had that was like darker up on top than faded down because he was always like basically covering up a shiner or something. And it's
Styling
just
and
like,
profiling.
and it's just that look and style with the suits and everything. That
Well,
I don't know.
he had a serious tan too, man. He looked like a fucking alligator bag, man.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He still doesn't look. He still looks kind of like an alligator bag.
Yeah, especially now, especially more than ever.
Yeah, even more tan and even more leathery. Yeah, I could
Wait, so
imagine.
did we finish Money in the Bank?
Nope, we got
Oh
to talk
yeah.
about the Money in Bank matches.
Sorry, we always go off on tangents, man.
Oh yeah, we'll go over the matches here, but with that, we're okay. Solo Sikoa, LA Knight, Penta, Seth Rollins, Andrade, and where like I said, I don't know if they're gonna put Punk in there. Probably because of the storyline, or I mean, we want to see Chad Gable in there, but I just don't see
Chad
that.
Gable is not wrestling. Stop with it.
I
It's El
actually I
Grande
think this will be Punk.
Americano.
I
I
don't
want to
know,
see El
man.
Grande
Like,
Americano in it.
you put two guys in one match. Now, Gable's a damn good wrestler, but
He
you
is.
put two guys in one match like Styles and Punk, and you're like, all right, what the fuck? They're like, I feel like AJ Styles is just never gonna be in that position again.
He just
I
gets
think
overlooked a lot.
he is. I think AJ is there. Follow me on this one. I think AJ is there, much like Becky Lynch, though, which would be to put the younger talents over, to kind of pull and push them up, to lend them heat, and not only that, work with, more importantly, probably work with these kids uh, backstage to a certain degree. Um,
I feel like
I'd imagine that as a sole part.
as old as AJ is, I mean, I think he's still got. I think he's still got it, and um, I just don't think he's gonna get another world title run in this company.
Yeah, that it breaks my heart about the Randy Orton too.
Yeah,
If I want to see anybody in there, I want to see Viper just have one solid run. I just want to see him go until he gets injured. Then okay, limp around for a month and give up the title. I mean, I I I want to see. Heck, I want to see Orton against AJ Styles. I want to see those two together against Cody or
Have
Cena
we
even.
seen
I mean,
Randy since Backlash?
no,
It's like
I
every
feel like
time
no.
Cena fights
Well,
somebody, they disappear.
he's been active, but not in the last few, not lately.
AJ is coming to the. It took him so long to get into this position, right? And I feel like now he's at the same. When he ended his TNA run, he's basically at that point now with WWE where he was one of the top guys. Well, in TNA, I mean, he was the top guy, really. And he won a whole bunch of belts. He held the world title for a long time in WWE. Well, a good amount of time. He held a few secondary belts. I mean, shit. If he went to AEW, what they could do with the Bullet Club then
Right.
Oh, well,
would
I
be.
think that's going to be pretty inevitable. So like I was saying about the AEW, it's one thing if you got people coming up, but you also got these guys on the way down, and for a lot of them too, especially with the guys that are currently in AEW, some of them probably have old feuds to settle, old scores
Well,
to.
he's got Samoa Joe there. There's always shit between the two of them.
It's good to see that Samoa Joe is healthy again, but that's the thing though. How long is he going? How much of a run is he going
Yeah,
to
but
have?
how
It's
did
not so much it's not so much how much he has left in the tank. It's like how much meniscus does he still really have? You know.
well, it's like they're gonna, this guy's great, and they need to. I mean, the way they're booking him now, he's like a trios champion. He's got a faction with Shibata and Powerhouse Hobbs, and I guess Hook is involved too, but Hook's pissed off because he got replaced by Powerhouse Hobbs. But I'm like, what the? I mean, I get it. Samoa Joe's putting these younger guys over. Cool. He still can get up in that championship, mix. I don't know. He
Exactly.
held the world title. He beat MJF clean.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I don't know. They got to do something with Moxley. My parents came up for a visit and I was watching Collision with my dad. And he was like giving me shit. She was like, man, he's like, what the fuck are you watching this for? He's like, you watch anything. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He was like, this shit sucks. It was like Cesaro was wrestling Commander. And he was like, oh, so he was like, Cesaro's still around? I was like, yeah, he's going by his real name, Claudio Castagnoli. He was like, that guy's in good shape. He was like, who the fuck is this guy he's wrestling? He's like half his size. It's like, this guy's got no build. He was like, what is this shit? Then he saw Kazuchika Okada come out. He was like, who the fuck is this blonde Japanese guy? And I'm like, come on, man. He was like, this is garbage. And he was watching Collision for like 10 minutes, and he was just talking shit about it. So
yeah, well, that's the thing. It's just like, okay, yeah, this is a mid card match. It's just like, okay, wait, especially with a show like that, wait for the main event, then tell me shit. You know what I
the
mean?
main event was
Tell me after
terrible.
you saw like Edge against Moxley. I mean, that was a month or so ago. That was talk about a glorious bloodbath. And no, yeah, was it got that for some reason you bring a board with a bunch of nails stuck in it, and not only that, beat Moxley with it, suplexed him into it, that big spike. Anyway, yeah, that was pretty hardcore. There's always a lot of hardcore moments with that. AEW is a lot of fun.
I know, that's why I still watch it. Even though it's fucking awful.
But that's the beauty of it. Sometimes some things are so awful. You shine it and remix it until it becomes a regular gimmick.
Although Tony
I
Storm fucking rules, man. There's nobody in WWE that's better than Tony Storm. The shit she says on the mic is crazy.
I saw her. She was doing commentary. For a match. I forgot, this is like maybe 3 weeks ago, a month ago. As far as live, that's how far behind. But oh my, like I said, there's the shit that she says, and it's brilliant too. But it's just like, oh man, I want to see this. I want to see this girl work in wrestling until she is 80. I wanted to, go all the way until Mae Young territory, on the mic, just because she could always play that character, even on just on as a third commentator or something. It's just uh, like, and she's not bad in the ring either. And these bitches are pretty hardcore. I mean, they're not exactly straight up working hardcore matches. I mean, they're not Japanese, but they really bring it, man. They don't mind getting
No, they're
busted
just
open and
wild
everything.
shit, man.
Yeah. But going back to last week though. There was a lot of heat for it. Botch. There was that a match with Chad Gable and Penta and I forget that other guy. Anyway, there was a lot of heat posts because it was a triple. I don't even know what the hell they were trying to do, but all three men were on top of each other. Wait. Each of them setting up a move, and each of them in business for himself, resulting in a scary bump for Chad Gable. But thankfully he didn't break his twist or break his neck or nothing, but Chad just got color the hard way. He just got a bit of matte burn on his head there, but it's good just because it's not a busted neck. Did I lose something?
I'm almost done.
Oh no.
Okay, so who's winning the men's money?
Yeah, let's finish Money in the Bank.
Good.
We're talking about anything but Money in the Bank.
Well, yeah. Then we get both of the. Because that's the thing though. When you what bothers me though, and what is really the waste of time is not so much it's these qualifying matches. That's just it's just burning a week is all that was. It kind of yeah. Man. I don't know what these guys are doing.
I don't think CM Punk's winning. I think Seth Rollins is going to come out to disrupt it and cause CM Punk to lose.
So then who wins?
No, it's AJ Styles, probably.
Okay.
I could see because he has the most. I think experience. I think he has the most Money in the Bank matches and wins. I want to say out of this bunch.
I'm picking Seth Rollins.
Yeah, that's true. In the actual Money in the Bank,
I'm gonna go with Andrade. I'm kidding. I mean,
I was just gonna say. I'm about to say. Okay. What's your rationale though? Everyone got their.
I have none.
Could be Penta.
He's not. No, dude. Penta and Andrade are not world champions, man. They're just not.
No, I mean, it could be, like I said,
maybe in Mexico. Solo Sikoa
AAA,
sucks, bro. Who else is in the match?
LA Knight.
I was gonna say, yeah.
I mean, that could be your dark horse guy, maybe. LA Knight.
The only one who in there who really has such a storyline, outside of CM Punk or Chad Gable, never mind. It's kind of frustrating because I don't know where they're going to go with that either. But they might. Well, no, they would not. Solo Sikoa being the leader, I don't see him taking the Money in the Bank either. LA Knight, like I said, or Penta. Seth Rollins is the only one that with a storyline and is that main event character. And like you said, it does go with the story arc.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to go with Rollins on this one. He's the only one that kind of.
Yeah, I mean,
think about it logically.
Rollins makes the most sense, but it might be the too obvious of a choice.
I think he's the favorite, but he can also not be it. So I don't know. We'll see, because there's ways that he can get screwed. Where if his people come out, I'm sure CM Punk will come out, Jey Uso will come out, Sami Zayn will come out. Then that will cause disruption. He won't, win the belt. Someone else will win it. So other than Seth Rollins, are they gonna give LA Knight a title shot? Is it really gonna be Solo Sikoa or Penta or Andrade, or even I think AJ Styles? Like, that's the thing. Like, that's why I was shocked Logan Paul wasn't in this, because if he was, I would have picked Logan Paul.
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying.
So, like, with the women's, we all think it's Valkyria, right? She's not even in the match yet, but yet we know she's probably going to be in it.
Yeah, because she's getting such a. The one that she's getting definitely a push. I don't know if it's going to be such a meteoric push, but I mean, like I said, I see Liv Morgan as kind of stagnant with that, and Ivy Nile. Yeah, I mean, that's just to
Right. So if Valkyrie
to
doesn't
getting
win
it.
the match and she's not in Money in the Bank, who do you think is winning? You have
Stephanie,
Rhea, you got
Stephanie
Roxanne,
Vaquer.
you got
I,
Julia,
I,
Naomi, and Alexa Bliss.
I love Rhea Ripley, but I, if, I hate for them to give it to Roxanne Perez, but they might. But I think Alexa Bliss. Of course, well, we both heart and mind kind of
Right.
lead me for Alexa Bliss in that one. We kind of wanted her to win, and we also see her winning. And as far as what it would open up storyline wise, and where they're looking, yeah, I see Bliss going over.
I see Bliss as well. If it's not Valkyrie in the match, I see Bliss as winning the belt. Well, winning the Money in the Bank, I should say. So
I don't, but that's the thing. Would they? I think they are pushing
Really,
Valkyrie.
Bliss? I mean, I
Yeah.
know how much you like Alexa Bliss, but you really think she's gonna take the Money in the Bank? Hasn't she already won Money in the Bank before?
yeah, this will be her second time.
I don't know, bro,
Rhea has never won it because she's never had the opportunity of winning it.
because she was the champion.
Right.
Right. Every time she's battling for the title match for Money in the Bank. Um, that's why I think it's Valkyrie. If she's not in the match, then I think it's Alexa Bliss. I don't think they're gonna give it to Julia or Perez yet. It's definitely not Naomi. Other than that, it's Rhea, but Rhea we already know that she's kind of already got the feud with Io Sky, so and I'm sure something's gonna happen in Perth when they go to Australia. I'm sure they'll give her a championship match at that point. But if she has the Money in the Bank, then she's not really gonna have the match. So I don't know.
Well, so far it's been a good, nice slow build for Money in the Bank, and I'm sure tomorrow we get the rest of the pieces. But I think we're looking pretty good for the um next Saturday. Uh, and that's the whole card. That's pretty. I don't know if there was rumors for anything else, but I don't think there are going to be any other more matches added. But we'll find out if anything tomorrow night.
Yeah, I think it's just the 4 matches. That's it.
Yeah, because there's a lot of these like small pay per views. They're going with like 4 or 5 match format. And,
Yeah, they're still too long.
Right. So
well, SummerSlam at least they broke it up into 2 nights. SummerSlam is just going to be a party.
yeah, we should just go into the city,
Go
man.
to tailgate for that one. Yeah.
Yeah, just go into the city. Tailgate at MetLife.
How about let's not say we did?
Yeah, exactly, exactly. But that's it for this week's show, guys. But like I said, getting into the Mets, we're looking at a sweep, and okay, Mike, or Greg for
No,
that
it's
matter too.
over.
If you know what
I
want to
don't know
know where
where
I'm going to
LA.
be this what I was just going to say this the softball World Series. Now,
Oh yeah,
if you
dude.
know where I'm going to be
There's
for the
games all
next
night
week,
now.
exactly. That as I am in, still a part residually a part of wrestling and everything like that. Um, she is still the goat coach of softball here in Erie. I mean, she was a name like back in high school as a pitcher, let alone her time at W&J. Like, uh, Hall of Fame. She still has the anyway. She's still Coach Wiley is she's is it for her. It's like I'd imagine it's like watching WrestleMania. It's like what WrestleMania weekend, except that's the softball World Series. One day I want to take her for like a full trip to wherever the for the World Series. Actually, be a fan for the entire World Series live. So we're gonna have to fly to Florida or Oklahoma or something one of these years.
Damn it, man. UCLA lost to Tennessee?
Okay.
Oklahoma's beating